What's up, everybody, and welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. This is part 2 of the bodybuilding and depression, or the bodybuilding to cure depression, or the bodybuilding to get your life back in a positive swing. And, the last one we talked about was about making that mental adjustment and getting back in the swing of things, actually getting in a gym to meet new people and keep you on a positive direction in your life. Now, we didn't talk too in depth about the other part that the individual sent an email about maybe getting some steroids in order to motivate himself to stay on track. Now, here's the problem. If you're not motivated enough to get up in the morning and drive to the gym, trust me, you're not motivated enough to take steroids. Even if you're popping a few pills, you're not going to see the results that you're thinking you are. Now, some people, I do know guys that are like, well, I don't go to the gym unless I'm on. Well, what kind of life is that? You live half your life being miserable because you look like shit. The other half, you pump yourselves up and feel great about yourself. There's a huge, almost bipolar mood swing because you feel like shit, you feel good. You feel like shit, you feel good. Not really the most optimal thing for somebody who's dealing with a depressed state to begin with. Second thing about using the drugs as a crutch like that is, undoubtedly, if you don't put the work in, you're not going to get the results out of it. So if you're not training right, if you're not eating right, some people are like, well, I spent the money, so I don't want to waste the money. So, I'll make sure that I go to the gym. Trust me, if you're not motivated enough to do this stuff on your own, wasting that $200 or whatever really isn't that big of a deal. You may need to get to the gym a couple more times, but you need to be a motivated individual to use steroids and get the effects that you're looking for out of them. It's just not the magic pill that everybody thinks it is. If you think that you take a steroid, that's going to change everything in your life, go back and look at the other drug that you're using, which is the alcohol. You were using the alcohol as a crutch to get by, and now it's taken over your life to the point where you do it all the time. But it's not helping anymore. It's not fun. You're a slave to it, and that's the same thing that's going to happen with the steroids. So be aware. This is a very short video on this because I don't really need to talk too much. I think you guys get the gist of what's going on. Don't use cocaine as a crutch. Don't use steroids as a crutch. Don't use alcohol as a crutch. Don't use heroin as a crutch, because these things, all they do is push back your issues further that you have to deal with later on in life. But you need to get the tools to deal with that stuff right now. And that's why going to the gym, meeting new people, all that stuff, those are tools you can develop to build yourself a new life and not rely on, I'm big now on steroids, everybody likes me. You shrink up and they're like, what happened to you? You okay? You sick? You're not training anymore? All of a sudden now you're like, they're making these comments. I look like shit. I feel like shit. I'm not going to the gym anymore. I can't take this anymore. I got to go back on steroids. It becomes a roundabout cycle that never ends. So that's why if someone's going to use steroids, I always tell them you have to have the right frame of mind and understand what's going to happen before and after them, and use them for a specific purpose to meet a certain goal, but not rely on them as a crutch to live. Okay? BioS3Training@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.bios3training.com is the blog, and we're out.